Good morning, everyone. You're watching Barnstable this morning. I'm Sarah Colvin, and joining me live on the phone, I welcome our Director of Senior Services, Madeline Noonan. Maddie, good morning.
Hi, Sarah. How are you today on this beautiful day?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Yes, love to see the sunshine.
Yeah, wonderful. We're having just a fabulous summer. It's really hit into gear now, and there's just so much great things going on, not just at the Senior Centre, but all around Barnstable. It's been great to see so many people on Main Street and, really just enjoying what Cape Cod's all about.
We have had a great deal of visitors this summer for sure. And Maddie, some good news came out of Town Council this past week in terms of a grant for some transportation services. What can you tell me about that grant, Maddie?
Well, I can tell you that it's always nice when you get an unexpected gift in the mail. And we were very surprised recently when we were informed that one of our former clients, who for many years was very active at the Senior Centre, her name was Virginia Gorse. She had actually moved away about 2 years ago because she had no relatives living here, and she had reached the point where she could no longer live independently. She moved to Illinois to be closer to a family member, and she passed away there in January at the age of 95 and a half years old. She had a remarkable life, and really in her estate planning left the bulk of her estate among 4 nonprofit organizations, including the Friends of the Barnstable Council on Aging. So we were notified that she left over $5,000 to the Friends to be used to benefit the Barnstable Senior Centre. And when we were having discussions about the best use of the funds, we were aware here that Virginia had been a long-term client, not just of the Senior Centre, but also of our Silver Express transportation program. So when she was no longer able to drive herself, to the Senior Centre, but still wanted to remain active and, participate in all the activities that she took, she used our van to get her here for many years. So we felt that, in looking at our budget for the coming year and where we have a part-time van driver position that we created in 2010, and we have really sought out, grant funding to sustain that position, that this was a perfect use, of the funding, and really, I think, helped honor, her thoughtfulness and generosity to the Senior Centre, and using it in a very thoughtful way that I think she would have, really approved of.
Wonderful, and I know that the transportation service is, as you said, so vital to many of the seniors in our town. So to be able to use this gift for that, so very important.
Yeah, this is always a tricky program for us, with transportation, because we know that there's such a strong need for it in the community, particularly with seniors, that don't have other tools at their disposal. Like, they may not have family members that can get them from place to place. They may simply not have the financial ability to pay for cabs or other modes of transportation. Our program, we put it out there as a community resource that's very affordable. We ask for a suggested donation of $5 round trip. So the fact that we're reaching throughout the 7 villages, many of the villages in town are quite isolated and remote, and it's not accessible for them to use other options. But our friendly program with our wonderful van drivers, are there to help bring them to medical appointments, to the grocery store, to the bank, all of the places that they need to go, to the Senior Centre, to help them, continue to live independently. And the program is also very important because it helps transport clients to the Adult Supportive Day program at the Senior Centre, and helps many, many caregivers in the community who simply, aren't able, because they're working, full-time oftentimes. If it's a child of a client, that they're not always able to give them the transportation to get here. So the fact that we can offer that, really helps people out. And I think, obviously for us, we're always looking at other sources of funding. This grant, or this gift, in addition to a grant that we had received from the community, from the Rotary Club, will allow us to, and our Friends group, will help us to continue to sustain this position for the coming year. So that is very reassuring to us to know that we have this position. And the part-time van driver position is essential to us because because it fills in for when our full-time van driver isn't available. She's currently on vacation for 2 weeks, so during those times the part-time van driver steps in so we don't have to cancel service, and also helps to fill in when we have, as you know, we have many volunteers that help, to provide this service, and when we have a volunteer that isn't, available, this position fills in for that too. So it's really good news all around. We're very excited, and really thank Virginia for thinking of us.
Wonderful. Maddie, talk to me a little bit, of course, that we're right in the middle of summer. So many things are going on, and I know the Senior Center always a hotbed of activity, and also a place for people to go and cool down once it gets hot. But I know, tell me a little bit about what we can expect coming up in the next few days, next few weeks at the Senior Center.
Yeah, I was just going to say that when you said a hotbed, we definitely are a hotbed, but we're also a very cool place to come and hang out whenever the temperature soars and it gets really sticky and humid out there. We want people just to be mindful of the fact that the Senior Center is air conditioned, so if you are feeling like a little uncomfortable or too hot at home, just to stop in here. And if you don't want to actually participate in an activity, you can just simply come in to our lobby area where we have a lovely space where people can sit down and play a game, read a book, engage in conversation with other seniors, just have a cup of coffee, and we have, as you know, we have lots of great activities happening. In the next week we have a really interesting talk on Lyme disease and deer ticks, and we hear about this and read about this all the time. And we have Larry Dapsis from the county's cooperative extension. He is a specialist in deer ticks and tick-borne diseases. So he's actually coming in next Tuesday, July 22nd at 10 a.m. To give a talk on what to be aware of. He's going to talk about Lyme disease and other tick-borne diseases out there in the community. So to sign up for this activity and any other activities here, you just simply call us at 508-862-4750 to RSVP. This is a free talk. And then next Thursday, we have a talk on, it's called How to Remember Not to Forget. We've offered this a number of times at the Senior Center, and it's always very well attended. It basically will help, with you with some tools and strategies to preserve, our memories. I mean, we always talk about use it or lose it, staying engaged and, challenging yourself, it always helps. But this is a really good presentation, and again, it's free for anybody who's interested in just understanding a little bit more about cognitive impairment. And then on the same day, we actually have some memory screenings taking place. We're doing this in partnership with Hope Dementia. It's a sign-up, but we need to sign up because obviously time has to be allocated to do the screening. They take about a half an hour for the appointments, and we ask that people call Hope Dementia directly to schedule the appointment. So folks would need to call 508-775-5656 to sign up for that, and they're happening between 12 and 4 p.m. And then something that's very popular that we offer on a monthly basis here, we do a Reiki meditation healing circle, and the people that come to this absolutely rave about it. It's just it's such a relaxing experience for people that may have pain or stress in their lives, that you come in, and Sharon Anderson, who runs this program, again, it's another free program that we do that has so many health benefits, that people come in and sit in a circle and they go through a wonderful relaxation exercise. And if you know about Reiki, it's sort of, they call it the laying of hands, that you kind of place your hands, you don't touch the person, but there's an energy that comes from person to person that aids in healing and stress relief. So that's something that if you haven't heard of it, or maybe you want to learn more, it's a good opportunity to come in and learn about that. And then in addition to that, we have, as you know, Sarah, we talk about all the clubs that meet here on a weekly and monthly basis. We have some really active groups going on right now. We have a wonderful Mahjong group that meets on Monday mornings if people are interested in coming in and participating in that. We also have a sports group that meets on Tuesdays that there's always plenty of lively discussion that's happening in there. And our current events group that meets every Thursday, they talk about local issues, regional issues, national and international issues. I mean, they talk about everything. So that's just to mention a couple of things. And then also our movies that we show on Mondays and Fridays. And next Friday we're showing a very popular movie, American Hustle, which was a big award winner this year. So if people are interested in seeing that, that's a good movie. And then we're showing on Monday a classic, which is now Voyager with Betty Davis. So we're trying to show the old and new and everything in between to appeal to everyone out there that likes a particular genre of movies.
Well, Maddie, for certain, never a dull moment at the Senior Center. That is for sure. And I thank you so much, as always, for joining us on Barnstable this morning to talk about it.
Great. Thanks a million, Sarah.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Madeline Noonan is our Director of Senior Services in the town of Barnstable. For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Sarah Colvin.